On today's show, we will have an in-depth conversation with business icon and shark Damon John, who shares his secrets for success in business and in life. We honor the life and legacy of beloved entertainer Robin Williams and take you backstage to hear the inside story of how Robin's career transformed overnight. We travel to one of the world's most beautiful luxury destinations and hear from music legend Kenny Loggins, who shares how we can pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. Welcome to In the Spotlight. When it comes to success, there's no better person to learn from than our next guest. From his humble beginnings working at the Red Lobster while he was building his company to becoming one of our most respected and successful business icons, Damon John shares his secrets for success in business and in life. Well, I'm so excited to be sitting here with the legendary Damon John. I want to thank you so much. You're so busy for taking a couple minutes to talk to us.
It's my pleasure.
So really appreciate it. Now you really have become such a great mentor. And I've seen the show. My son is a huge fan of yours.
I love it. I love the little sharks out there.
And he is like so committed to that show, which I love because I wasn't raised by an entrepreneur. I was raised by two entertainers and was an actor when I was a kid. So to have that kind of leadership, I mean, that you're affecting them and they're learning about business is really, really powerful.
Well, you know what? I would love to take the credit for that and be very honest. It was ABC and Mark Burnett who had a vision to teach entrepreneurship. If somebody would have said to me 10 years ago, you can watch a couple of men and women talk about deals on a show and it would be important and people would value it, I wouldn't believe it. But if you let Hollywood and a couple of the really amazing editors and filmers, put it together and put it out in a way where it's entertaining as well as informative. 10 years ago, could I have ever seen people who are millionaires and billionaires in the room with the common day man and woman, and what would they want to hear? And I think that's the value. When you sit home on the couch, you go, that person's doing it, why can't I? Right. And with your son, taking nothing away from the actors and the athletes of the world and things of that nature. But I'm finding now that kids want to be sharks just as much as athletes and actors. And that we're honored to be part of that ecosystem.
I think we both realize, I did a series as a young kid, so I went in as a performer, but it's a business.
Yes.
And same thing with, as you know, any of your friends that are Hall of Famers and what happens, they are an athlete and then they have to learn how to run a business. So what you're teaching is so powerful because it doesn't matter if you become a professional athlete, actor, whatever. It is a business, and I think that's what's I love about the show, but you're also doing it just in your own life, which is mentoring people and understanding, that they can learn about how to run a business.
Absolutely, and I think that whether it's going to school for higher education, I see too many kids and people who say to me, well, a lot of entrepreneurs don't go to school or haven't gone to college, and I say, but you don't understand. The fundamentals to business is business and finance and all these things such as marketing. There's a very, very specific fundamental to operating and running a business, and you have to get an education in it. Right. I didn't have financial intelligence, and I risked it all. It's a very slim chance that I got to this point in my life, and if I would have had to do it all over again, that's the only thing in life that I would have changed, is get a better education, a formal education.
And I wanted to ask you about that because with what's happened in our economy, there's a lot of people that have gone through tragedy, whether they had a very successful business that went from 30 million to 10 million, or they were struggling to make 50,000, they're at 25,000, or they have a dream of something they want to do and they're thinking, wow, could this really happen for me? Have you ever had a time where you were tempted to kind of give up on your dream? And if you did, how did you get through that?
That's a very good question. Often I had that challenge, and I think that one of the most important ingredients in being a successful entrepreneur is having a mentor that really has no interest in your business and has been there And that has proven to be way more successful, in regards to if you put 10 businesses in a room and the ones that are more successful, you generally find that there was some form of a mentor around or a mind trust. People who have the same agenda as you do. And, when I started my company, I have 3 other partners. And when I wanted to quit, they wouldn't let me quit, and vice versa. And, we ended up really, 10 years felt like 2 years when I created it. And I opened in 1989, and I failed and ran out of money and closed FUBU down 3 times until 1992. And I didn't really get out on a national stage till 1997.
I thank you so much for saying that, because I think so many people all over the world need to hear that.
Yeah.
And because it was you being persistent and not giving up on that dream that you had.
Absolutely. And before that, I had 3 or 4 other businesses. I just didn't love the businesses. It was like I had a little van service and this and that. I didn't love the business, but this business kept calling me back, as I said on stage, because I kept seeing people wear the product, and I would do anything to see somebody adorn their body in something that I made, because it just made them feel special. And I kept opening the business. But I made my mistakes small, so I was able to close down for 6 months and open back up.
But that's so powerful too, because a lot of people end up maybe spending their life doing something they're not that passionate about, even in businesses.
Sure.
So I think that's such a great lesson. I love that you share that you one of that lesson, that gold, wonderful rule of do what you love and the money will flow.
Yeah.
And you find that is really, really true in the people that that are successful.
It is, and I just have to find a better way of saying it, because I sound like my grandfather now when people kind of let these really important sayings just wash by. He doesn't know what you're talking about. Do what you love, you never work a day in your life, and all. It's all crap as far as they're concerned.
I mean, you're going to work, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely work, but you will love doing it, because the reality is our report card is not going to come back A all the time. But if you were doing a business that you loved and you were obsessed with, and 10 years from now it didn't work, at least you had fun.
Right.
If you were doing something for money in a business that you hated, but you were just like, that's the newest, hottest thing, your life is gone. That 10 years you can never get back, work or play. I try to get away from Kevin O'Leary all the time, but he just sits right next to me.
More with Damon on the power of influences. We'll be right back.
I wanna build you up, I wanna make you strong.
Those of us who play the game know that there is this intrinsic relationship between the challenges of the game and life itself.
In the process of teaching young people about a fun activity that requires hard work, dedication, some skill, you were teaching them that the attributes that make them a better golfer are the same attributes that are used to make a good soldier, a good doctor, a good teacher, a good parent, a good citizen, a good person.
The National School Program has really allowed the First Tee to have a broader and deeper impact on our society.
Every single one of our 13,000 elementary children are being touched in a very positive way, and their schooling is being changed for the better.
When you were a little child, did you always have this drive in this way? Did you have a specific mentor that inspired you, somebody who believed in you, or was it just something that was inside of you?
I always had this drive, but again, my mentor was, and I talk about her all the time, my first mentor was my mother. Because a lot of people ask, are you born an entrepreneur, or is it something you learn? And I believe we're all born thinking like entrepreneurs, but I believe that some of us, if we don't have the right people around us, when we tell somebody that we're going to change the world, or we're going to save the seals, or whatever it is, and if we have a negative person around us, could be a family member, they may say, it hasn't been done yet, it can never happen, you're going to embarrass yourself, you're going to embarrass us, and you tend to stop thinking like an entrepreneur because you're influenced by somebody. But my mother was the exact opposite. Yes, you absolutely can do that. Why don't we start today, So, I just happen to have a great surrounding and amazing people around me.
And I think that's great. It's unfortunate that, and I had that as well. I mean, my parents were not wealthy, but they loved what they did, and they always made money doing what they loved.
Right.
So they always felt successful, even though by somebody else's standard, maybe they weren't wealthy. There's a lot of people that don't have that cheerleader and have not had that cheerleader in their life. What do you suggest to people? Because I think the mental game, from what I've learned from entrepreneurs, because I had to, after doing my series, I had to learn how to be a business person in that aspect of it. But the mental game is also so much a part of the success and the staying power in business.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that?
100%.
So what do you recommend that an entrepreneur does to keep their
Go
head?
find those people.
Okay.
You have to go find those people, and you have to cut those negative people out of your life. Right. Listen, we see people all the time who have groups and cults and packs around them. They're doing everything from the most amazing things in the world to the worst things in the world. There's somebody out there that relates or on your level and believes in what you want to do, but you got to go find that person, and you absolutely take those other negative people out of your life or limit them as much as you can.
And if that's your family members, I mean, that can obviously be a challenge, but at the same time, it's so great to hear you say that, because almost every successful person that I've sat down, talked to, like yourself, who's had that long-term staying power, feels so strongly about those influences that are around them in their core, in the
100%.
core.
Your assets are what feeds you, and your liabilities are what eats you. And before you go and look at anything from your financial assets and liabilities or your inventory, you have to look at your assets and liabilities as being the people around you and your way of thinking. I was an only child. I didn't have any siblings, so I hired my entire neighborhood because I always wanted a brother and sister. But on the other hand, I will cut people off in a heartbeat if they are bringing drama. They have negative energy. They're bringing it around. Like I try to get away from Kevin O'Leary all the time, but he just sits right next to me.
He's right next to
me. But I try all the time. But I will eventually get away from him.
Can't you have Mr. Burnett move you down the road?
I've tried. I've tried. But Kevin just keeps popping up. He's one of those things.
Well, maybe we can look at it as that you've been placed into his life to try to help him recover from maybe some of the negativity. You're gonna be a positive influence.
I'm gonna bring holy water to the set next time and pour it on him and watch him melt in the seat.
Can't wait to see it happen. We'll be looking for news at 10 on that. And I just thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're really. I want you to go have some fun.
I will. Trust me. I always sneak in fun.
For giving to us.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Damon, so much.
Damon is transforming the lives for people of all ages on the Emmy Award-winning show Shark Tank, as well as with his personal brand. So for more information about how Damon can support you with your business goals, go to DamonJohn.com.
Somebody had seen Robin Williams at the Comedy Store, and they said, "We know the guy."
Next, we honor the life and legacy of beloved entertainer Robin Williams. Stay with us.
Predator Zip Lines, a high-flying 2-hour adventure that takes you over the grandeur of Out of Africa Wildlife Park. With 7 towers in total, you won't just fly, you'll soar over breathtaking views while learning about the majestic animals below as your guide educates and entertains you during your tour. Experience the wind ripping through your hair on a thrill ride over nature's wildest predators. Zip on at Predator Zip Lines.
How many of you would love to have a backstage pass to see how Robin Williams' career transformed overnight? Today we take you backstage on the set of Happy Days with Don Most, of course adored as Ralph Malph, to hear what really happened when Robin was discovered. We are so excited to share this amazing story and to honor the journey and the legacy of Robin Williams. We will also give you an update on Don Most's incredible career, how you can see him perform and stay connected with him. So welcome to VIP Backstage Pass.
It is really my great honor and thrill to bring this incredible man on the show that many of you grew up with. He's an actor. He is a director. He is, of course, one of the most amazing singers, and some of you may not know that. So we'll talk a little bit about the past, and then we're also, of course, going to talk about what's happening in his career now, and so many exciting things. So please help me welcome the incredible Don Most. Hi there. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind. That was way too kind.
No. We have so many people who just love you so much, and they have been posting questions about you, and everybody's very excited just to talk about the show
And this is a big part of your life, and
I was on Happy Days in my 20s because I'm, in my 60s. It's a little different.
yeah, but you know what? You still have a very young spirit. You may be in your 60s, but I don't know. I just think you're always going to be young at heart. Don't you kind of feel that way a little bit?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I never want to lose that.
There are so many people that have like I said, they've sent in some questions, and you've been really sweet to say you would answer some of them while we do our Throwback Thursday section of the show.
Okay.
And you had Robin Williams on the show, obviously. I was kind of hoping you could tell the story about how this happened.
Okay. Definitely.
Were you there that week? What was that like?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, I was there. I was in some scenes with Robin. Yeah, I mean, and of course, at the time, nobody knew who Robin Williams.
Right.
He hadn't done anything on television or movies or anything.
Yeah.
What happened was there was this episode, it had to do with, it was a dream episode, and it was a dream about this alien and all that, as we all know.
Right.
So what happened was we read the script, at our table read on the Monday, and everyone was going like, it was like one of the worst scripts that we had ever had. And we're like, oh my God, this needs a lot of work. And they were having trouble. They wanted certain name actors, but nobody would take it because I guess it wasn't very good. And then they finally got some actor that.
So the Robin Williams script was no good, which is so interesting, right?
No, it was not a good script. And then, I mean, it was crazy. So then finally they had an actor that, I don't know, I remember who. And then on Wednesday, I think he quit.
And you're shooting on Friday?
Yeah.
In front of a live audience. So for everybody who's watching right now, like you rehearse Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right. And by Wednesday, the show is done. It's ready to go. Thursday, camera blocking. Well, yeah, I mean, you get there.
For us, camera blocking was on Thursday.
Okay, yeah, for us too. But we would be in the rehearsal hall for 3 days.
Right.
And Wednesday, we were doing a producer run through, and we pretty much had it on its feet. Nobody's holding a script in their hand or anything like that. So for the guy to quit on a Wednesday, when you have to go camera block on Thursday, is terrifying, right? Yeah. So then what happened?
It was a pretty harried situation. So then, from what I heard, it was either Penny Marshall or Al Molinaro. Somebody had seen Robin Williams at the Comedy Store, doing his thing. Right. And they said, we know the guy, this guy is amazing. So they brought him in. I wasn't there, of course, to read. And they instantly went nuts over him. And I mean, if anybody was right to play a guy from outer space,
it's
Robin was that guy, So I remember I arrived on the set. I didn't have my scenes my call was until 12 o'clock, where the everyone else the set call might have been 10, but I didn't have, my scenes were until later. But I remember walking onto the stage at 12 o'clock, and there was this palpable buzz in the room. You could feel it, and people coming up to me going, where do you see this guy? Because we didn't know who was going to play this, going to play Mork,
Yeah.
So where do you see this guy? So, oh, really? So I go up and I start watching the rehearsal, and Robin started bringing in ad-libbing and doing stuff from his own act, where he'd do all these noises and funny bits, because he was able to, he just started bringing in his own shtick and ad-libbing. And it was like nobody had ever seen anybody like this,
Right.
So it was crazy. And then we do the show Friday, and it turned out to be great. It was an episode that was really, was so borderline to be kind. And then it became a really great episode. And there was all these there was so much buzz. All the ABC network executives were there Friday night to watch it. And then we heard by Monday or Tuesday, oh, he's got his own show now.
Of course, right?
My God.
Right.
Literally.
Friday you shoot, and Tuesday he's got his own show.
Yes.
That's television for you. Your life can change like overnight. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
That was the, I mean, but
That's amazing.
deservedly so for Rob.
Yeah, deservedly so.
We feel so blessed to have shared this incredible story about the journey of Robin Williams and to celebrate the decades of joy that we've received from this incredibly gifted entertainer. Next, we give you an update on Don Moh's incredible career. Stay with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, you are incredible. So I want to make sure that everybody that's with us today who loves you and have loved you for decades know that you do this so that they can experience it by coming to watch you just inspire us and infuse us with all of this joy that is you when you sing those songs. And they've only seen a little portion of it. It's amazing what you do, Don. You are such a gift, really.
I don't know what to say. It's kind of hard to express, but thank you.
For more information about where you can see Don perform, go to donmost.com. Next, we're going to take you to one of the most beautiful luxury destinations in the world. So welcome to our Traveler TV Spotlight. Today on Traveler TV, we take you to breathtaking Sedona, Arizona. Hi, Kari Michaelsen here in stunning Red Rock country of northern Arizona. Nestled amid dramatic cliffs and soaring stone towers, Sedona offers a true sense of peace and tranquility that makes this area one of the most sought-after luxury destinations in the world. The Sedona experience starts with its numerous world-class resorts and hotels. Each property brings a unique sophistication to one's travel objective. The culinary culture in the area offers an array of elegant dining destinations and is one of the many reasons guests return time after time. And let's not forget the luxurious spas. Relaxation and rejuvenation are definitely on the agenda when visiting Sedona. Whether receiving an indigenous Northern Arizona spa treatment or a healing session from one of Sedona's many spiritual practitioners, stress relief will be the welcome result. With elevations of over 4,000 feet, the climate here in this area is mild in all 4 beautiful seasons and perfect for the outdoor adventurist. The U.S. Forest Service oversees 400 miles of trails here. Sedona has become one of the top destinations for world-class mountain bikers and hikers. The levels of difficulty range from novice to pro. It's an outdoor seeker's paradise in so many ways. Whether kayaking down the Verde River, swimming in world-famous Oak Creek, or taking in the magnificent Red Rock formations by air in a helicopter tour, lifetime memories are made. The Sedona area proudly features award-winning wineries, each with tasting rooms for everyone to enjoy. Another one of my favorite things to do in the area is take a train ride into the magnificent Verde Canyon. It literally goes into tunnels through Sedona's red rocks. It's a premier opportunity to observe and learn about the natural habitat along the way. The area also has a casino, a wildlife park, and an exciting zip line experience, which certainly gets your heart pumping. Also, events can be explored year-round, including the star-studded Sedona International Film Festival. Now, before you leave, promise me at night you'll just look up. Sedona is a certified dark sky community in which there are fewer than 30 in the world. Seeing the starry skies at night is literally awe-inspiring. And that's just a quick glimpse of why Sedona is one of the world's most special travel destinations. See you next time on Traveler TV. Find Fabulous. Next, Kenny Loggins shares how we can pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. Stay with us. Now we're going to hear from music legend Kenny Loggins, who shares his heart about how we can make a difference in our communities and pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. So let's hear from Kenny.
Hi, I'm Kenny Loggins. The Unity Shop is now entering its 104th year of community service. It's come a long way since Pearl Chase and her volunteers set up their first Council of Christmas Cheer store on Haley Street. 33 years ago, I met Barbara Tellefson for the first time when she told me about this new concept of giving low-income families the chance to choose the things they actually need. It appealed to me as a parent. It was a safe harbor that the families could rely on for food, clothing, books, and the myriad of basic necessities that can provide them stability. And honestly, that was the kind of thing I'd been hoping to find. One place where I'd know that what I give will do the best for the most people. Today, over 20,000 people are referred to Unity annually by 305 other nonprofit organizations, churches, schools, hospitals, medical and counseling centers. 1,700 children volunteer yearly, learning how to run the distribution facility on Chapala Street, while giving a hand up to their neighbors and learning important job skills. The hope and healing Unity provides not just to these families, but in large part to the entire community, is impossible to quantify.
For the past 3 years, I've been volunteering at the Unity Shop. This has taught me that I can have the power to help my community, even as a young person.
We love working with Unity because there's so many things that they do for the community, and there's so many ways that we can get involved. From the toys program to the free grocery store and food delivery even. You know, everything is done with an eye towards giving somebody dignity and towards giving them what they really need. So we love being a part of that.
It's such a privilege to work alongside the wonderful staff at the Unity Shop. We're always looking for ways that we can give back to our community.
We are glad that we are able to support other families who need them.
The fact that most of the work done here is volunteer-based, it really turns around lives, not just in the sense that it gives people things, but it gives people like a purpose, which I think is really cool.
This place is revolutionary, really. So they really understand what it means to give according to need, and I think it's just super inspiring.
Unity is the only community distribution center of its kind in the county. As you can imagine, the number of people we see each week is multiplying rapidly. We desperately need your help to sustain this humanitarian, loving service to our fellow neighbors. To find out how you can join us, please visit unityshop.org. We're all in this together.
For more information about how you can be a blessing to a family, go to unityshop.org. I want to thank Damon John, Don Most, and Kenny Loggins. Be kind, be grateful, and let's all tell at least one person how much we appreciate them today. Thanks for watching In the Spotlight.